Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about American celebrities and their obsession with preaching, virtue signaling, and acting like they're better than everyone else. Sure, some of them are better than us, many of them are better looking at least, and they clearly can read lines and act and perform better than most too. But does that really put them up on a pedestal far above and out of reach from everyone else? Because I would say no personally, even though these liberal elitists seem to think their shit don't stink or something. And to make matters even worse for them, the world is of course going through a terrible health scare situation right now, which is causing another unexpected side effect here. Now celebrities are not only lacking the attention they usually get due to theaters and everything else being shut down, but also now these Tinseltown titans are getting a bit desperate and a lot cringy as they try and remain relevant and in some ways use this awful problematic time as a way to make themselves look more virtuous, and more specifically, these Hollywood types really think they're some kind of hero now, and they're showing us they think this by releasing cringy videos and Instagram posts. And although they may have played superheroes on camera before, and sure they've entertained many and brought us some joy, but that's hardly the same thing as actually risking your life and saving someone, like what a real hero would actually do. Regardless though, these celebs are trying their bestest, and we've got a lot to look through today and laugh at, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. There's three pretty interesting stories surrounding this issue, and the first involves a stunning and talented actress I'm actually a big fan of. None other than Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot, started this first story of the day. Last week she released a very cringy and tone-deaf isolation video on Instagram, where her and her celebrity friends sing the John Lennon song Imagine. But before we get to that, let's check out the video's intro and see where this all started.
Day 6 in self-quarantine, and I gotta say that these past few days got me feeling a bit philosophical. Had affected the entire world, everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from.
Damn girl, only 6 days and you're already getting philosophical? I can stay home for at least a week before I start getting stir crazy. But I guess that's what separates us from attention-starved celebrities like this. To them, it's normal to see hundreds of people each and every day, all of which are kissing their asses non-stop. So once you come off of that too abruptly, many can't handle it, which is why I would guess Gal Gadot here is looking so sad and acting like her whole life is over or something. And sure, her heart is in the right place here. She wants to cheer people up a bit, but I think we can already start to see why this video of hers has become so controversial and infamous. Needless to say, it's off-putting to see rich millionaire celebrities crying and making the worst of things when really they should be stoked they're not suffering through much worse like the rest of us. Most people are losing their jobs right now, and we don't have bought and paid for mansions with millions of dollars in the bank to fall back on, like how Gal Gadot and her celebrity friends do. No, average Americans live paycheck to paycheck, so not working much longer than this means we won't be able to pay our bills and we could possibly lose our homes or worse. And this kind of reality is why Gal Gadot and her rich celebrity friends are about to look so bad here, because they're acting like 6 days of staying at home at their beachfront mansion is a death sentence, when really these Hollywood elites are hardly struggling, if they even are at all.
And I ran into this video of this Italian guy playing the trumpet in his balcony to all the other people who were locked inside their homes. And he was playing Imagine, and there was something so powerful and pure about this video.
Okay, well, if you don't know where this is going, Gal and her famous friends are about to sing Imagine, because Gal saw an Italian guy playing it on his trumpet to other people in isolation there. Apparently that moved her, so she thought, hey, why don't we do a cover of that song too and rip off that video? But there's a couple of big problems with this premise though. First of all, that original video she mentioned, well, that was probably moving and possibly emotional too, but for reasons which seem to be lost on Gal here, because her rendition doesn't have those right elements at all. In fact, as you'll soon see as we go over things here, the celebrity version of this video actually has the opposite effect. Instead of being inspirational and moving like the trumpet version in Italy, well, the American celeb version comes off as incongruent, unnecessary, forced, and want to be emotional and moving, a terrible thing you really never want to be. Let me explain why now. That video with the trumpet player, well, it's not exactly the most unique thing right now, actually. Many videos like this have popped up coming from Italy recently, and that's because, for one, one, that country is suffering the worst right now, which also, for two, has put them in isolation lockdowns like this. Now, this combination of things not only results in Italy being a bit dire right now, but also, when these musicians start making their videos like the trumpet one Gal was inspired by, well, those videos do have the context to make them very touching, and a good-spirited, hopeful message happening in a place desperately needing it. Now let's flash back to the Gal Gadot video. I don't know where she is right now specifically, but I think it's safe to say she's chilling in one of her multiple multi-million-dollar properties, far and away from anything really bad or terrible that's going on in the world. Then we'll eventually see her celebrity friends chiming in too, and they are, again, all in safe places as well, in their million-dollar mansions far from the problems of the real world. And also, even if these celebrities did get sick, they'll be the first ones to get treated, and they'll have all the money and resources it takes to fix them up and everything. So I think we can all see a big gaping difference between these videos here. Differences that are so bad they not only make the Gal Gadot video not touching or moving or emotional, but also it makes the whole thing a bit insulting, off-putting, and cringe to the maximum.
And it goes like this. Imagine.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to play much more of this original video due to strict copyright policies on the internet right now, but I can go over some of the lines and each person a little bit more because there are more issues with this going forward. Now, I think we all know this song a bit, but for those who don't, try searching for it on Google or something if you want the context. But basically, for today's discussion, we can just talk about the lyrics a bit later. After Gal Gadot sings the first line, other celebrities start chiming in one by one. These include all kinds of actors like SNL alumni, including Kristen Wiig, Jimmy Fallon, and Will Ferrell, the last of which had a wild hairdo looking like a crazy person that seemed kind of out of place in this sad, wannabe depressing toned video. Then some of the others included in this video really start to say something more, like how they include these stark, out of control and vocal liberals like Mark Ruffalo, Sarah Silverman, and Natalie Portman. Their inclusion here says an awful lot, and the absence of any right-leaning celebrities says a lot about this video too. There's no James Woods, Clint Eastwood, or Chris Pratt anywhere to be found here, and that was done purposely for a reason. This shit is left-leaning as hell, and they're biased. Next, there's a few lines of this song that are worth pointing out specifically, like the first line saying, "Imagine if there's no heaven." As another commentator named Joe Rogan pointed out, telling people there's no heaven during a health crisis isn't the best look. Sure, these celebs and more younger people will be fine, but we all have grandparents and other older people in our lives, so saying something like that, like there's no heaven and we don't need religion, although that could be considered accurate, well, it just seems to be in really bad taste at this moment and something you shouldn't do. It's like telling someone they're not going to heaven while they're sitting on their deathbed. And another line in here that hit a lot of people's ears wrong was when the song says, "Imagine no possessions." Not only is that communist propaganda bullshit, but also, considering who this video is coming from, that's a really rich thing to say. These celebrities are rich and famous, and they're pampered, and they have all the possessions they want in the world. Now, sure, you could just chalk this up to being part of an older song, but they also chose this song and made this video, and no one even thought for a second, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Perhaps they heard if they make people cringe hard enough, it could protect us from getting sick, because that's really the only explanation I can think of to justify this madness. Next, we got another similar story of another group of celebrities who also fancy themselves as sorts of heroes for surviving this current wave of social distancing, as they might put it. I don't know why, but all liberals seem to think of themselves as heroes because I guess they have savior complexes and they just want to think they're better than everyone else in every way possible. Here we can see a tweet and story from page 6 about this called "Celebrities Going Makeup Free While Social Distancing." Okay, wow. How stunning and brave of them. No makeup? How on earth could they even pull that off? Well, it's actually more likely that these celebrities can't have their makeup artists over, so they can't put makeup on physically. So them going without makeup isn't really a heroic choice at all. They're just stuck with it. And perhaps that's the message here, though. I don't know. Maybe the celebs think them not being able to get their makeup done is a version of them toughing it out, and this can make them superheroes now or some shit. Can't say I agree, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was coming from them either. Let's go ahead and read on though and see how this story plays out. That way we can see where this goes specifically. They may be used to getting glammed up for the red carpet, but just like the rest of the world, celebrities are currently staying home and practicing social distancing. With no buzzy premieres or press events on their calendars for the time being, these stars are skipping makeup in favor of letting their natural beauty beauties shine through, and they're sharing it all on social media. Below, see a selection of stars who are going the barefaced route. Then we get a long list of celebrities posting makeup-free selfies, as if this makes them special or heroic or something. Here's Julia Roberts, and then there's Gabrielle Union, and then finally, we see the stunning Jessica Alba. Nothing inherently wrong with makeup-free selfies here either, because these are pretty people posting hot pics of themselves online to get attention and to get people to watch their projects in the future. But the real problem is the story behind this as a whole, and its relation to the ongoing crisis, of course, is kind of off-putting. I mean, the celebs seem to be virtue signaling and acting as if this is really hard on them, when really it's the least hard on them compared to anyone else. Then, if you look at a picture like this, it really drives the point home here. On the left, you can see Italian nurses and doctors who have scratches and scars and dirt on their faces from wearing masks and working at hospitals, helping people all night and day through this problem. But I guess the left wants us to forget about doctors and nurses because really it's the makeup-free celebrities who are the actual heroes, at least according to them. And really, there's no better comparison than this, which shows us who the real heroes are on the left, the doctors and nurses, versus the right, which is a bunch of liberal narcissists who haven't struggled a day in their lives. Finally, we're going to wrap things up with one more isolation-inspired video coming from another celebrity. This time, we're turning to the former queen of pop, a now washed-up singer and celebrity going by the name of Madonna. Many might not have heard of her recently, but basically, she was a really big singer in the 1980s and 90s, who has had middling success since then too, and apparently Madonna has been losing it during this quarantine as well. She's been posting lots of strange and concerning videos that, needless to say, are getting mixed reactions from the public. Here's a clip of one of them to check out for yourself. Take a look at this.
Cause there's no more pasta, oh no, so we're gonna eat some fried fish.
Jesus, lady, pull yourself together. You're a 61-year-old multi-millionaire who's lived a very full and exciting life too, and you likely still have a lot of life to live, so barring something unfortunate happening, you should just enjoy it while you can. And with all that said, I don't get why these celebrities are losing their shit so quickly. Social distancing has only been strictly implemented for like a week or two now, but singers like Madonna and other actors like Gal Gadot, they just can't go without lots of attention each and every day. They can't go without it for even a few days. Madonna is certainly losing it more here though, but this chick has also already been quite crazy for decades. She also ruined her face apparently, and her body too, with all these terrible plastic surgeries, but that's a whole other story. The point here today is Madonna is yet another celebrity posting cringy isolation content that's really awkward to watch. And believe it or not, but this isn't even the worst Madonna has posted lately. She also posted this really weird video of her in a bathtub filled with milk and rose petals for some reason, but that shit's just too risque and disturbing to even try and show you here. But I do have a link to more of Madonna's stuff below this video if you want to check out more. Basically though, as for that bathtub video, it has Madonna in a bathtub of course, and she's speaking weird platitudes too, pontificating while dramatic music plays behind her as well. Hard to say what she was really going for here. All she really says is something about this situation making us all equal now, whatever the hell that means. Gotta keep in mind here again though, these celebrities are insanely rich and pampered and just plain getting crazy right now. Madonna is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, almost $500 million is in her bank account, but all that just isn't enough when you're a narcissist addicted to attention, like what we've seen on display here today. What do you guys think? Are these isolation videos and memes and pictures starting to get out of hand? Can you think of anyone more out of touch than a liberal elitist celebrity woman who's starved for attention so much that she posts pathetic shit online like this? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Hit that like button to support this channel, and we'll see y'all next time.